I wasn't supposed to enjoy this. I told myself I wouldn't. In fact, I was ready to hate this bundle. And honestly, a part of me still does. But the weirdest thing happened when I finally sat down to play it. It shocked me. Not because of some massive new feature, not because of any wild reinvention, but because of something I didn't see coming at all. And by the end of this video, you understand exactly why this bundle messed with my expectations in ways I still fully haven't processed yet. So I bought the bundle expecting nostalgia and disappointment. What I found was a surprise. See, I'm a huge fan of Super Mario Galaxy 2. It's my favorite platformer ever. One of the best games I've played, period. So when Nintendo announced the new Galaxy bundle, I felt two things at once. Excitement alongside real skepticism. Two games that are 15 and 18 years old, priced at $40 each, or $70 for the whole bundle. That felt wrong. It felt like paying full price for memories, but then I booted them up and I kept doing something I hadn't planned to do. I kept having fun. A lot of fun, in fact. So kick back, like, subscribe, and get me to 1,000 subs, and hear my point of view. Let me set the record straight though. I don't think older games should extract new money like that. But here's a little bit of context for my experience with these games. Super Mario Galaxy released when I was younger. I remember the awe I felt watching the trailers for the first time, but I never got to play it at that time because I had a PS3 and not a Wii, and my dad would not buy me a Wii because I already had a PS3. I would eventually play these two games for the first time in 2021, and Galaxy 2 was the game that cemented my love for 3D platformers. Galaxy 2 taught me what platforming could be. Flawless momentum, risky jumps that clicked, and moments where everything lined up and you felt godlike. So this bundle should have been an easy buy. Instead, I bristled at the price tag. I thought, why should I pay almost full price for games I already own? For games I've already played or games that have visibly aged? That bitterness framed my first hour going into this bundle. I expected relics, aged gameplay, with nostalgia doing a lot of heavy lifting. But what I didn't expect was to be so constantly surprised. Not because the games were perfected from what they already were before, but because they still deliver design beats that modern games chase and a lot of times miss. Let's start with where the surprise is strongest. Super Mario Galaxy, the one I remembered, is great, but not as dazzling as its sequel. I think the reason why I say not as dazzling as its sequel is because the fact that I played them back to back for the first time in 2021 and already saw Galaxy 2 as the more definitive and complete Galaxy game honestly kind of made me rush through Galaxy 1 and not really sit down to take it in all that much. And apart from that, even replaying these two games now, I still think Galaxy 2 has the better gameplay and better levels. But experiencing Galaxy 1 again without mentally forcing myself to just play through the game as fast as possible to get to Galaxy 2, I started to notice things that I did not notice before. The second hour flipped my expectations. The Comet Observatory deserves a long, loving look. I didn't appreciate this hub as much until now. It isn't just a menu, it's the connective tissue of the game. The observatory frames every galaxy as a destination. There's a tangible sense of scale. You're not just selecting levels, you're stepping onto a ship launching into discrete worlds. That coherence, the way visuals, sound, and pacing reinforce the space theme is brilliant. The hub is comforting and mysterious all at once, a gentle orchestral score, and the feeling that every star you visit is a tiny self-contained planet with rules. That framing matters. In Galaxy 1, the hub built anticipation. And in Galaxy 2, the levels are more urgent and immediate, but you lose some of that travel through space feeling. I appreciate Galaxy 1's hub more now because it makes each galaxy feel like an appointment with a tiny world. Mechanically speaking, both games still nail tactile control. While they definitely feel way more stiff to control after playing Odyssey, the fact that they even controlled so good in the first place with such a unique physics-based system is a miracle. And an even bigger one at that when you consider the fact that the first game is 18 years old at this point. This was in 2007.
Also, this planet really reminds me of King Kai's planet in Dragon Ball Z.
But anyway, the gravity on small planets gimmick was more than a novelty. It introduced a new language for platforming. Jumping around a tiny spherical world changes your sense of weight, timing, and direction. It forces designers to think in arcs and curves, not just left or right or up or down. The result is a bunch of short, refined puzzles that feel like clever optical illusions, steps and platforms that make perfect sense once you commit to the physics. I'll admit though, some galaxies in Galaxy 1 feel like set pieces. Many are small, dense, and designed around a single core idea. That can feel thin compared to Galaxy 2's longer multi-stage levels. But make no mistake, those concentrated ideas pack a punch though. They land fast and they're memorable. presentation elevates everything. The soundtrack, the crash of strings, the horns when you launch, they all make the cosmos feel cinematic. Although, Galaxy 1 I find is more consistent with the space theme in each level, while some levels in Galaxy 2 pretty much seem like they could fit in any Mario game. Although, that could also work against Galaxy 1 in the sense that it's easier to get a wee bit bored of the whole space theme, even though the game is called Super Mario Galaxy. I know I sound stupid right now. But all in all, the UI, the little narrative touches with the Lumas, the way Mario tucks into the Comet Observatory, it all condenses into an aesthetic that's coherent, whimsical, and strangely earnest. Galaxy 1 doesn't feel patched together, it feels curated. But make no mistake, Galaxy 2 is still my favorite. If Galaxy 1 is a charming, brilliant demo of ideas, Galaxy 2 for me is the refinement. It's what happens when the team realizes that every mechanic is worth squeezing for more fun. Galaxy 2's longer set-piece levels, Yoshi sequences, speed sections, boss fights, oh lord. The game's level-to-level variation is insane. It takes the smaller planet experiments and strings them into larger evolving challenges. A single level might start as a puzzle, devolve into an adrenaline chase, and end with a platforming gauntlet. The pacing is tighter, momentum matters more, the levels reward you for mastering physics and timing in ways that Galaxy 1 teases, but doesn't always deliver. Galaxy 2 has way more variety in level design and ideas, and I think that just makes the gameplay better. Yoshi changes the equation, adding a partner that extends Mario's capabilities with the tongue grab, flutter jump, and new ways to interact with platforms opens up a second layer of design. It's not just an extra toy, it reorients the types of obstacles designers can throw at you. Galaxy 2's standout trick is how its space is surprised. There are always new things, a gravity swap, a surprise mechanic mid-level, a moment that flips the rules on what you just learned. It's relentless in a way that keeps you wanting to keep playing. Like whenever I play Galaxy 2, what I'm always thinking is, how the hell do they keep on coming up with these ideas for each level? Honestly, both games hold up tremendously well today, and even though Nintendo might be the greediest bastards on the planet, they do know how to make a damn good game. I genuinely think these games are among the best platformers you can play today, in 2025. Galaxy 2 specifically I think is the best platformer out there right now, 2D or 3D. Also, I feel like this may be a bit more of a mixed bag among fans, but I really like the whole Starbits mechanic in these games. It just seems like an extra fun thing to do in the levels, and something about the way they twinkle and the way they sound just makes me want to collect them all, kind of like how I enjoy collecting bolts and screws in Ratchet & Clank. Both games strike a lovely balance between accessibility and depth. The main path is friendly, the optional challenges can be challenging sometimes. And there's a new easy mode, which may seem useless for most people watching this video, but I promise you if you had a baby who's trying to get into video games, it makes all the difference for them. Also, the textures for most materials in this game have been improved, so the game does look a little bit better than it would if you just played it in 4K on an emulator. Nice touch, but still not worth the price though. So, how do these older games stack up against modern platformers? Short answer, in most ways they still outperform them. A lot of modern platformers like Psychonauts 2, Yooka-Laylee, Mario Odyssey, and New Super Lucky Tail often chase scale, going after more open level designs and more mechanical breadth. They offer amazing mobility and freedom, but that can come with the cost of tightly packaged challenge. You might have dozens of tools, but fewer moments that demand that you actually use them with precision. Galaxy focuses you. Small defined challenges with clean mechanics. The Galaxy games definitely win in choreography, the way everything just feels and works. Every level is like a tiny choreography piece, timing, rhythm, and space all collide. That choreography is addictive. It's a design philosophy that celebrates the joys of making players feel competent in a precise, repeatable, constant way. Finally, there's also the emotion layer. The way Galaxy 1 frames exploration as travel and discovery with a warm hub and a sweeping score, it just hit a different nerve than the sandbox style that many modern 3D platformers favor. Okay, now for the hard part. Price. This is where I stay angry. Re-releasing old games as premium products at near full price feels exploitative. If you already own these on original hardware or bought the individual titles before, it stings to have to buy them for $70 again. I don't love Nintendo's pricing here, I think it's wrong. Still, I bought it. But here's my confession. Despite buying it, I still feel kind of guilty, but what I can't deny is the experience. Once I started playing, especially with Galaxy 1, I found myself surprised in the most positive way. I did not remember the game being this good, this immersive, and this grand when it comes to presentation. I found myself smiling, marveling at design moments, and occasionally losing track of time. That fun is a real thing. It doesn't make the price okay, but it does explain why people keep buying these repackages. So, where does that leave me? Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2 are still some of the best platformers ever made. Galaxy 2 remains platforming perfection. Galaxy 1 surprised me by being way more coherent and emotionally satisfying than I remembered. And that's a twist behind the title. Mario Galaxy, but not like this. Not because the game's changed per se, but because I did. I came in cynical about the price and left appreciating the craft. I didn't remember Galaxy 1 specifically being this well made as a package. So if this video made you want to play the Galaxy games again, drop a like, subscribe, and I want to know, how do you feel about Nintendo re-releasing these games at $70? Worth it? Or not? Did you cave in like me and buy? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe if you want more deep dives on the latest games and my thoughts on current happenings in the gaming industry. Thank you.